Blog Talk Radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome aboard. It is Saturday morning. You know what we do every Saturday morning this time between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Welcome aboard to The Balance. My name is Marquis, El Presidente, on loan from God for the next 2 hours to guide you through this crazy world of sports, and it doesn't get any crazier than what it has been this week. We're going to get into some deep conversations in our second half hour here with Derek Schultz of the Query and Schultz Show, 1260 a.m. and Fox Sports on iHeart. Going to be breaking down Andrew Luck, and Matthew Hicks joins us as well. Matthew Embury is scheduled to join us with from WSBT up in South Bend, but also our official college football contributor, Mr. Riggin, joins us. He's going to hang out and be a co-pilot today with us. We're going to be talking some college football, mostly college football. But heck yeah, we got to talk about some Andrew Luck and Colts and Luck and more Luck. But I tell you what, it's a big story, so we won't use all of our thunder at first, but we are going to get into that. And then at 10 o'clock, me and Rick dive into college football top 25. It is here, guys, and I tell you what, we're going to talk a little Homerland, Ball State, IU, Notre Dame, Louisville. We'll get into all of that. Well, certainly some Notre Dame talk here in just a few moments. And then at the bottom segment, we see the best for last. Ed Kracz, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe we'll have an announcement with him today, or maybe he'll have to wait till next week. But either which way, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles joins us to talk about NFL preseason as we get ready to go. And Mo from the BS Sports Show, 917-889-8516 is our digits. Stick around. It's about to get good.
Tonight, I just want to take you home. Throw your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party on fire.
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow.
makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike,
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming, and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
Welcome back to the Balance. My name is Marquis, Presidente. 917-889-8516 is our digits. We're going to kick off this college football talk here with Matthew Embury from WSBT up in South Bend, who's also our official IndyCar contributor. But we're taking a break from racing this week so that we can get all of the college football talk in. And, of course, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about in the next half hour with Derek Schultz and Matt Hicks and Riggin on the Andrew Luck story, the big story. So we have to push back the racing this week, but we have not forgot you. We will be back, of course, in NHRA here in town in Indianapolis, where we're located in the west suburbs of Indianapolis, high atop the Balance Studios as well. Joining us now, though, is Rick Riggin, our official college football contributor, and Matthew Embury, WSBT up in South Bend. Real quickly, I do want to tell you guys, if you are in the path of Doreen, please take heed. And I tell you what, hurricanes are nothing to mess with. I went through this with my son who set it out the last big hurricane that we had that went through North Carolina. And it does get rough after the fact. And my granddaughter and he set it out there by himself with the animals, but it got a little bit of touch and go there for a little bit, lost power, unable to get out of his house because of the water. So all I'm saying is if you're in that path of that storm, they've just elevated it to a Cat 4. So if you're and I know it's taken a northern turn, it looks like. So I would say if you're anywhere between Florida and North Carolina, maybe look at your plan. Joining us now, though, Rick Riggin, our official college football contributor. How is you, sir?
Hey, pretty good, Tom. There's a lot of names on the show today, a lot of stuff to weed through, so it should be a fun show today.
Absolutely. Hey, I tell you what, it's always a fun show, not just today, but every day. Matthew Embury, WSBT up in South Bend, joins us. How is you, sir?
The reaction of Purdue fans at 1 a.m. this morning in 4 seconds. Listen.
Yes.
You can say that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're screaming. How can you blow a game? You outgained Nevada 350-99 in the first half. That was a dreadful loss by Purdue last night. And
I'm glad you brought that up.
Tom, I'll tell you what. They lose to a team like Notre Dame, even with Colin Kaepernick at their quarterback, beat 35-0 a few years ago. That no excuse for that performance. And I'd say right now, Purdue, they're going to have a terrible time in the Big Ten this year.
Well, you know what, being an IU guy, I'm not exactly hating that game. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I had other things going on, but I watched it on Twitter, and by 1 a.m. I was drunk, passed out, asleep. No, I mean, I was just in bed. Rick, what are your thoughts? Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I'm glad you brought that up right off the bat because I actually watched a little bit of that game, and Purdue had a pretty good handle on it. It was like no way they're losing to Nevada. It wasn't until this morning when I woke up and saw they lost that game late. Couldn't believe it. So it's going to be a rough year for Purdue. I'm not making fun of Purdue. It's just unbelievable that they lose to Nevada and lose that way.
Well, you know what? It's not one of those count me games it's one of those I can afford to lose games. It's not going to affect my bowl eligibility. But let's kind of start from the beginning. Clemson kicked things off. on the ACC network, unless you were like Rick, one of the few people in the world that actually has that network, and you probably didn't even know you had it, Rick. So I don't know how many people actually watched this game, but we'll start with you, Rick. What are your thoughts about the Clemson? Shocker? No. You see what I did there? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually didn't know I had that network, but I was just scrolling through Twitter and came across something from DirecTV talking about how they have that network. If you have DirecTV, you have that network available. So, all right, I have DirecTV. I checked it out, and sure enough, I had it. So I watched a little bit of that. It wasn't even Trevor Lawrence in that game, guys. This was Travis Etienne. Stole the show. He lit Georgia Tech up. Trevor Lawrence kind of didn't look all that great. I mean, he was like 13 for 23, about 150, 160 yards. He actually had 2 interceptions in that game, but it was all Travis Etienne. I have to, just give Georgia Tech a little credit because they're going through a new offensive scheme, a new scheme change. You know, they're going from the triple option to more of a pro-style attack. They just don't quite have the players there to make that transition smooth. Brand new head coach, and, of course, this game was in Clemson. But I didn't think Trevor Lawrence looked all that great, but he's going to be great. They should limit his snaps against teams like this anyway. But 2 interceptions against Georgia Tech, but this is all Travis Etienne.
Matthew, let's get right into this. WSBT up in South Bend. You're in the backyard. You're in the nest, if you will, of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Rick, I know you're going to be up there at that game, but Notre Dame's got Louisville coming up here, opening up. They've got to open up with a statement. And as we talked about before, Matthew, Notre Dame is kind of a little bit overrated and a lot of big games on their schedule. So they've got to start out with the bang. I would think that they can beat Louisville, but you never know. Last year, this time, they were taking on Ball State. Ball State almost beat Notre Dame. So Notre Dame, a lot of times, these games that don't really matter per se in the big scheme of things, they seem to always fall short. What are your thoughts, Notre Dame, Louisville?
I think Notre Dame, it's going to be a gut check for them. They've had their issues with opening games. Keep in mind, a few years ago, they lost at home to South Florida. So anything's possible here, and I think they need to take this game seriously. I think my media colleagues, I think, are mistaken saying this is going to be a blowout cakewalk for Notre Dame. Louisville is a team that, just like Nevada on Friday, is looking for a way to boost themselves, to get themselves back in the conversation. What better way to do that to give Notre Dame a big scare in their opening game on Labor Day night? So by no means is this a game. I'd say Notre Dame wins, but I'm not saying the big blowout like some of my other colleagues are saying. I'm going to say Notre Dame 28, Louisville 21.
Well, I tell you what, Rick, you're going to be up there at that game. It'd be nice for you guys to get a win, but let's make no bones about it. I mean, Louisville is a Louisville game. I mean, they're a good team. They really are. No, they're not like the Louisville basketball team. They're more of a basketball college, but at the same time, the world is always watching Notre Dame, and whenever you play Notre Dame, everyone is watching you. They're going to do their damnedest to beat the Fighting Irish at home on Monday.
Well, it's cool that you talked about how Notre Dame kind of plays down to lesser opponents instead of just going ahead and just blowing them out because, they're capable of doing it. And then you bring up the Ball State game and the South Florida game, Matt, from a few years ago. Well, guess what, guys? I was at the Ball State game last year. Yeah, they barely won, and Wimbush did not look all that great. The offense didn't look great. They just couldn't get the ball moving against Ball State. And then I was even at the South Florida game a few years ago that was delayed by 2 thunderstorms. It's like 7 hours long for that game, and I was at that one too. Maybe it's not Notre Dame playing down to the opponent. Maybe it's just me being an Irish game. So I'm going over to Louisville Monday night for that game. So hopefully I can break the curse here. Notre Dame gets a big win.
I'm glad you corrected me on that. I'm due for a few minutes.
In games at Notre Dame Stadium, they've lost all 6 of them, so it's not just you.
I'm due for a few mistakes each and every I'm due for a few mistakes each and every week. I thought Notre Dame was at home on Monday, so there we go. Thank you, Rick, for clarifying.
It's at Louisville, down the road for me. Of course, I'm going to go with the game. It's only like a 2-hour drive.